have explored before. I just don't know the answer to that question. That's a really, really good one. I should know that. That's really cool. So let's both look that up, and the next time we meet, we'll have a discussion about mushroom digestion.
Okay.
Sounds cool?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. But do you see how these, on this one here, you see how those white lines are useful in understanding what is happening on those planes? Those white lines are saying, look, you're coming in like this and then dropping down here. Take a look at this one here.
White lines?
These little white lines on this. So so do you see those little, especially those little white lines really kind of help say like, oh look, this is what we're doing. We'll go for some bolder lines here,
Yeah.
right? This one right here, we've got that little ridge thing, which we saw before with the example of the gills on the underside. We're now seeing that same idea applied to something that is kind of, there's a dip on the top. Notice that the dip doesn't go all the way to the edges. We're seeing it more in the middle here. I've got that going on. There's a color change, a value change from darker behind it, lighter behind it, making us think that, oh, there's a ridge here that I'm picking up. And then look at the direction of the marks that are on here. How these ones out here, there's sort of a directionality of them going this way. And that's saying something about what the slope of that is. One last example of it, take a careful look at this drawing right here. How do the lines and marks describe what is happening on that? Did you see what's going on there? Right? So this is, what I'm trying to do is trying to get the viewer to think that they are seeing that there's a little lip here, I go over that and I drop down into there. This is coming over and I'm dropping down into there. Right? You've got a flat piece of paper and you want to give the illusion of depth and structure. These contour lines are the key. So something that you can play with on mushroom drawings. You can try it on one. If it doesn't work, you can try it on the next, because they don't take that long to do. You can do a bunch of them to explore and see how you can start to show the shape of the things that these mushrooms are doing. So usually we're not thinking about contour, right? We're thinking about line, the shape of something. We maybe are thinking about value, dark and light. But now you've got, mushrooms are a great place to start to explore three-dimensionally how do you fall into a mushroom. How can you get that sense on your piece of paper? How can you show, yeah, it's curved, but is it curving like this? Is it curving like that? Does it come out and then suddenly drop down like that? How can you represent that?
Can you just talk through that last one you were pointing at, the one that's falling down in there? Just talk through the contour lines, because I'm sort of seeing it. But
okay.
I'm
So
very
what I've got a little shelf here.
Yeah.
There's
So
something happening on the other side
so
of that.
it's dark, so you've drawn a little
Yep,
dark.
and down behind that is darkness. Out here, I've got little lines that are coming horizontally, and then they suddenly turn down here. I've got a bunch of lines that are then dropping down. So they come here, suggesting there's some surface that comes here and then is dropping.
And so how is it that the lip is like darker, and then when you come down, all of a sudden it's like you've got that white, that very light section?
This part here or this part here?
Up there, yeah.
So this could be light that is caught up there on the rim. Or light that, very often where there's a sharp angle in something, those are good places for light to catch. So sometimes you get light sort of sparkling back to those. And you will also find that sometimes you'll look at things, and if there actually are striations on the surface of what you're looking at, take advantage of those. Like this one back here with those lines, this was a mushroom that had, this one, this guy, actually had all of these little lines all over it. So if you looked at it from the top, they would be going out to the edges. So you look at that from an angle, and all of those are saying, look at what this shape is doing. Here's the good news. You do not have to memorize how these are supposed to go. What you want to do is realize that, oh, those are a really valuable key to understanding and showing contour. I should look for that on the object that's really in front of me, and then all you have to do is copy what is there onto your piece of paper. But a lot of people aren't noticing that these valuable lines in showing the contour are right